Now on your news at noon, a summer shrink, what the economy did that has financial experts scratching their heads this afternoon. And later, a violent night in the district, what police have to say about two shootings blocks away from each other in Southeast. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us for your news at noon. I'm Randy Bass. We start by taking a live look outside on this Thursday afternoon. Meteorologist Damon Matson is here with a look at your forecast. Damon, what are we walking into heading into our Thursday afternoon? And truthfully, I'm already looking ahead to the weekend at this point.
You and a lot of other folks, including myself. But if you walk outside, well, you're going to walk into a wall of humidity. It is downright muggy, and it's also now rather much on the warm side, too. So we're going to be dealing with some sweltering conditions today. We have a good deal of cloud cover as well, but could any of those clouds eventually lead to showers and storms, or should we stay fairly dry today? We'll have a look in your full forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thanks. Breaking news this afternoon. For a second straight quarter, the U.S. economy shrank from April to June. Some experts saying it could be a sign of a possible recession. The gross domestic product, also known as the GDP, measures the economy along with the production of goods and services. That number fell by 0.9%. That's according to the Bureau of Economic Analysis. The newly released numbers follow a 1.6% decline in the first quarter. This is the second straight negative report from April to June, and that could signal that a U.S. recession is looming. But a strong labor market could prevent an official declaration of a recession. According to the latest jobs report, fewer Americans applied for jobless benefits last week, declining by 5,000 to 256,000. Analysts say it could be months before the National Bureau of Economic Research makes a judgment on whether the U.S. really is in a recession. The new GDP report comes after the Federal Reserve hiked interest rates on Wednesday by 75 points, as expected.
Minutes ago, new data confirmed what a supermajority of Americans already knew. Democrats have plunged America into a recession. Democrats inherited an economy that was primed for an historic comeback and promptly ran it straight into the ground.
More money news now. The latest Federal Reserve rate hikes may make you want to adjust your finances. It's a move to tighten credit sparked by interest rates by a 0.75 percentage point. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell wants to make borrowing money more expensive for Americans. Why? To slow demand and reduce spending as an aggressive measure to curb inflation. This could affect interest rates on home loans, auto loans, along with credit card and cryptocurrency rates. However, student loans are still currently suspended until August 31st. This afternoon, Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, is reporting its first revenue decline in history. The company blames a drop in ad spending and increasing competition from TikTok for that decline. Revenue dropped 1% from a year ago, below Wall Street's expectations. Stock for Meta fell after hours. And following up on breaking news this afternoon, 3 people were shot, one of them killed after nearly 100 shots rang out in Southeast D.C. overnight. You can see this video here shows you that very active scene overnight. Officers nearby were flagged down by witnesses. They found 3 victims, 2 men and 1 woman. One of those victims, we've learned, died at the scene. The 2 other victims, a man and a woman, both taken to hospitals. Our contributor at DC Real Time News was there as more officers got to the scene along 4th Street near the Maryland-DC border. Officers say as many as 90 rounds were fired. Right now, they're searching for multiple shooters. There was another shooting also in Southeast just hours before. Investigators say dozens of shots were fired there as well. 7th District Commander John Branch says they're trying to figure out if the shootings are connected.
There's a possibility we're looking into. We don't have any information at this point that would lead us to that. But of course, we are keeping all of our options open. That's something that we're definitely trying to piece together. The detectives are currently looking into that particular scenario.
And just to give you some perspective on where this all happened, here along the border, along 4th Street Southeast, is where that triple shooting happened at 10:30, just a few blocks away. And a few hours earlier, officers heard another almost 100 rounds fired at the scene of that shooting there along Wade Road Southeast. That shooting critically injured a pregnant woman. That shooting happened at the Parkchester Apartments around 3 o'clock yesterday. The victim was also a property manager there. Police are investigating whether this may have been a shootout between two cars. At this point, they are looking for several suspect vehicles. Our contributor Larry Calhoun of DC Real Time News says he hasn't heard of anything like this before.
I've never in my 2 years seen two scenes with that type of high volume of gunfire erupting within a community. DC Real Time News coming to you late in the night and a violent day in Washington, D.C.
At this point, police are still searching for suspects in both of those separate shootings. We've reached out to police for new details on those, and we are waiting for a response. We'll bring you those details as they come into our newsroom today. And happening right now, Washington Commanders owner Dan Snyder is testifying today before a congressional committee investigating the NFL team's history of workplace misconduct. A spokesperson for the U.S. House Committee on Oversight and Reform confirmed Snyder began giving his deposition this morning virtually and in private. That hearing is not being made public. Now, it's been a pretty long road getting Snyder to testify. Snyder declined before, citing business conflicts. The committee then subpoenaed the Commanders' owner. Former employees say Snyder fostered a toxic culture that glorified drinking and objectifying women. At this point, the committee has the power to decide whether they release any information from Snyder's deposition. That hearing is not being recorded, though a transcript is expected. Happening tomorrow, the woman who shot her husband at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel is appearing in court tomorrow. Shanteri Weems says she shot James Weems Jr. because of child abuse accusations. This all comes according to court documents. She says parents whose children attend her daycare that she owns told her her husband was molesting their kids. The preliminary hearing was pushed back at her lawyer's request when she appeared before a judge Monday. She remains behind bars and her attorney is requesting bail, so she'll be home during the pretrial period.
Her fate really lies in the hands of one single person on Friday. And so we're hoping that she gets a judge that is compassionate enough to be able to release her.
Now, Weems is scheduled to be in court at 10 a.m. tomorrow. DC News Now, of course, will have a reporter in the courtroom bringing you the latest updates. And from your local headlines to your weather headlines, Damon, what are we talking about heading into this afternoon? I stepped outside for a brief moment to grab some lunch right before this. It's actually kind of gross outside, and to use the cliche, it's that air you can wear out there.
There you go. You got to it before I did. Yeah, air you can wear type weather as we go throughout this Thursday, as we are sort of still stuck in the same exact pattern we've been in all week long. You probably have heard this song and dance. There's plenty of rain off to our west once again. Parts of Kentucky really hit hard last night by heavy rain and flash flooding. We're just seeing the leftovers of that, mostly just cloud cover and a lot of mugginess, but no true rainfall is occurring across the four-state and the DMV here so far today. But with these disturbances still rolling through, we have another chance for isolated showers and storms. We'll pinpoint exactly when and where those storms could fire up later, and the soggier forecast we have in store for your Friday, all coming up in your full forecast after the break.
An update on Brittany Griner this afternoon. The U.S. is trying to make a deal with Russia to bring both Griner and Paul Whelan, another American currently detained in Russia, back home to the U.S. Our correspondent Raquel Martin has more.
The president is prepared to make tough decisions if it means the safe return of Americans.
The State Department says President Joe Biden has signed off on a prisoner swap with Russia to bring WNBA star Brittany Griner home.
My hope would be that in speaking to Foreign Minister Lavrov, I can advance the efforts.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken says he plans to speak with Russia's top diplomat to discuss the potential deal in coming days. Griner is currently on trial in Moscow, where she's been detained since February on drug charges. She faces up to 10 years in prison for carrying vape cartridges containing cannabis oil through the airport. The offer also demands the release of Paul Whelan. Whelan has been detained in Russia since 2018 and is now serving a 16-year sentence on espionage charges.
We believe that this is a serious proposal, and we want the Russians to take it seriously as well.
The White House is keeping a tight lip on the details.
For success here, we're obviously not going to be able to share more publicly about the deal.
But is likely offering up convicted Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout in the trade. Russia for years has called for his release. In 2012, Bout was sentenced to 25 years in U.S. prison.
This is not the first time the president has backed a prisoner swap. Just a few months ago, Trevor Reed was freed. He was serving a 20-year sentence in Russia. He was released after years of his family campaigning on his behalf. And Damon, like you said, a bit of a rinse and repeat the last couple of days. A few raindrops here, a little sunshine there. Are we going to break through that pattern heading into the weekend? Any sunshine and relief in sight?
Well, it does look like we'll break that pattern, but we're going to have to get through some storminess first.
Can't promise the sunshine.
Then, yes, I know. The sunshine's coming, folks, but we do have a little bit more to get through before that this weekend. Now, today, of course, the warmth and the mugginess is at its peak for this week. It's not nearly to the level we saw this past weekend by any means whatsoever, and it's stuff that we can handle, but in a couple of counties across southern Maryland, Calvert, St. Mary's, we once again could have heat index values get up to 105, so we do have a heat advisory across southern Maryland until 8 p.m. as a result, but across the rest of the area, we are looking fairly good. But it's still going to be a downright sticky, uncomfortable day. Look at those temperatures. They have already reached the upper 80s across much of northern Virginia, central Maryland, even all the way back across far western Maryland there, and some lower 90s already popping up across southern portions of the viewing area. We are likely to see lower 90s just about everywhere, and those dew points are not fun in the middle 70s at this point, just continuing to make it feel sweltering. At least we're not seeing as much of that sunshine that could really amplify the heat and humidity. We've had a lot of cloud cover rolling across the region, a few peaks of sunshine, but there has not been any rainfall, as again, most of that activity is lingering back off to the south and west of us. But we're keeping a very close eye on this cold front out to our west. It's going to be approaching as we move toward the end of the week, and that is going to spark up a bit more of an active pattern starting tomorrow, though. Today it's just going to be very warm, very muggy, with a few isolated storms popping up out there this afternoon, but a large majority of us will continue to stay dry. More rain and storms will cover the area tomorrow and roll through. With how dry it's been this week so far, we're not as concerned about possible localized flooding issues at this point, but still, some of that rainfall could be heavy tomorrow before that amazing weekend rolls in. Lower 80s, low humidity, and then we'll bring back the heat as we get into the first week of August. So in the short term, let's check this out for Thursday, the rest of your Thursday here. Again, Futurecast is picking up on the potential of that development for some showers and storms. I don't expect the coverage to be this intense, but we certainly could have some isolated thunderstorms crossing through as we go past 5 p.m. here this afternoon and evening. We'll clear things out and dry out once again during the overnight hours, rolling off into your Friday morning. But watch as this activity activity rolls in from the west tomorrow, we will have a better chance of that cloudiness and certainly a good bit of rainfall as we move ahead with time on Friday afternoon. Temperature-wise, it's going to try to get to the low 90s the next few hours. If we can get some of that rainfall out there and the cloud cover to stick with us, we could cool things down pretty quickly later on this evening. But cooling down, that's a relative term. It is still going to stay very mild and muggy out there tonight in the upper 60s to low 70s. And once again tomorrow, not the 90s, but we should reach at least back into the low, if not middle 80s before some more of that rainfall begins to arrive on your Friday. But there are the 2 days we are paying close attention to and looking forward to. Saturday and Sunday, very beautiful out there in the low to mid 80s with that low humidity. And then we'll bring back those warmer temperatures in the 90s by the middle of next week.
In your health news this afternoon, monkeypox vaccines are on the way. Almost 800,000 doses are being shipped to the U.S. This comes as hundreds of people have been infected across the DMV. Right now, the district reports about 205 cases. This comes according to the CDC. Maryland coming in at 101, Virginia 39, and West Virginia is reporting 2 cases. Health officials stress that anyone can catch the monkeypox virus. 2 children have tested positive in the U.S. so far, including 1 here in the district. And Virginia's largest county has a new medical marijuana dispensary. Beyond Hello opened its 3rd location in Northern Virginia. It's on Richmond Highway in the Alexandria section of Fairfax County. On July 1st, a new law passed where you don't need to register with the Board of Pharmacy to be eligible. You just need a doctor's note. The dispensary has seen an increase in people interested in medical marijuana.
It provides access to about 400,000 people that live within a 15-minute drive time. So we're very excited to be able to have that, that access.
The sale of recreational marijuana is still not allowed in Virginia. Beyond Hello said it would sell it if and when it becomes allowed. And this afternoon, the Virginia Lottery is warning of scams ahead of Friday's Mega Millions drawing, more like Mega Billions. If you receive a DM saying you've won big, don't respond with any personal information. Lottery officials also say to beware of scammers in the comments. Damien, we got to be safe online, but the best way to get a shot to win is to just go out and get a ticket.
Yeah, exactly. Just go out to one of those typical spots. I know we saw those stories earlier in the week of the folks that have their lucky spot. So
yes,
go to that trusted source, more or less.
Lucky spots. Do you have a lucky number?
6. I actually
6,
do. It's my number all the way through high school, college sports. So yeah, that's my lucky number. How about you?
I go for 21, and I know that that's a pretty typical lucky number for some people. I feel like I've heard that in the past, but it's my birthday, September 21st, so I go 21.
Oh, there's
it's always
the connection.
been my number. Yeah.
There's the connection.
All right, and coming up